representatives or spectators will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition.
Breaking out tonight, so maybe he's got some abuse next time.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet tonight's starting lineup. First for the Cougars of Kean University, number 2, Madison Bragg. Number 5, Shannon Conroy. Number 8, Lily Freed. Number 9, Jocelyn Kean. Number 14, Carly Pritchett. Number 16, Emma Colleen. Number 17, Jasmine Frack. Number 19, Juliana Canizaro. Number 21, Kylie Dorso. Number 24, Adriana Duda. And in goal tonight for the Cougars will be number 99, Daniela Maresca. Assistant coach for the Cougars is Christina Fabiano. And introducing the head coach, Coach Maura Johnston. The Cougars of Kean University. And now let's meet the profs of Rowan University. Number 1, Lily Bartoloni. Number 3, Sophia Weissler. Number 7, Gracie Merrick. Number 10, Alexa Ronning. Number 11, Mia Foti. Number 17, Paige Gray. Number 21, Sydney Kowalczyk. Number 23, Tess Herman. Number 28, Aurelia McManus. Number 35, Casey Abbott. And in goal for the profs, number 88, Mariah Giuliano. Strength coach for the profs is Garnell Peters. Assistant coaches are Brooke Benson, Danielle Aldersitz, Aaron Small, and Christine Casagnola. And the head coach is Coach Michelle Andre. Ladies and gentlemen, the profs of Rowan University. Our officials for tonight are Efree Escott and Gabriella Palumbo. And now we'd ask everyone to please rise and remove your hats as we honor the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have special guests here this evening. We'd like to welcome Williamstown Field Hockey to tonight's game.
Hello, my name is Leo West, and I'm joined alongside Luke Brown today, and welcome to this presentation of Rowan Field Hockey on Rowan Athletics YouTube. Today, the Profs are taking on the Kean Cougars, and in this rivalry, and I'd be remiss if I did call it a rivalry, the Profs are up 46 wins, 13 losses, and 3 ties. Luke.
Yeah, you certainly look at the history between these teams, and the Profs seem to have their number. Obviously a lot of momentum riding off of last win for the Profs. That was a huge win at TCNJ in a shootout, so you don't want to get caught in a trap game here today, but by all accounts of it, Leo, it looks like this is a chance for the Profs to really get some offense flowing against a Kean team that is better than they were last year, but still the Profs seem to have the edge coming into it.
I mean, the Profs in this 7-game win streak have the offense flowing for sure. I mean, 4 separate games, they've scored 5 or more goals, and in 3 separate games, they've won by more than 4 goals. So the Profs, not only are they scoring a lot, but they're also defending very, very well, and this team has been excellent down the stretch so far. And, you know, Luke, talk me through this last game against TCNJ, because this was essentially for home field advantage in the NJ. Talk me through the shootout.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge game against TCNJ, as you mentioned. You know, 2 nationally ranked programs that are going up against each other. Chance to host the NJAC championships, you know, assuming that kind of things play out the way that we assume that they will. It's 3-1 TCNJ late in the game. The Profs come back, storm back to score 2 goals in the 4th quarter and force overtime. And then, you know, we thought it would probably just be overtime. It turns out double overtime. It went, and still nobody scored in both overtime periods. So we go to a shootout. Tess Herman steps up. She takes the first penalty shot in the shootout shot, whatever you want to call it. She misses, as does Jaden Huff. So it's tied 0-0 after 1. Then both teams match each other again as Cindy Kowalczyk makes hers. Julia Heff makes hers for TCNJ. So we go to a 3rd round tied 1-1. Mia Fody sinks hers. TCNJ misses. Gracie Merrick misses in the 4th round for the Profs, as does TCNJ. So they still have that lead by 1 because Fody made hers. Isabella Maher steps up in the 5th round of the shootout. She has to make it, has a wide open shot at the goal, and just inexplicably hits the outside of the goal, Leo.
Yeah, you know, if you've seen the highlight, it's very crazy to see that. But we are about to get underway here at Coach Richard Wacker Stadium, and the Kean Cougars send it all the way down the field to about the Rowan 25, and we are underway. Some good passing from this Kean team early on. It seems the strategy of just booting it forward, or should I say slapping it forward, seems to be working out as they carry it down this far side of the field. I believe on that play is number 2, Madison Breggy from Akron, New York. Not Akron, Ohio. Akron, New York.
Not where LeBron James is from.
No,
but yeah, Breggy, who was an honorable mention in the NJAC last year.
Very, very talented Kean team too, and you know, even like you said, they're better than last year. They are a very, very, very talented team. With a lot of the teams in the NJAC, very respected field hockey conference.
Yeah, interested in how the Profs play against Shannon Conroy, who was an all-NJAC first-teamer last year, as well as a National Field Hockey Coaches Association second-team player in Region 4.
Wow. Like you said, talent across the board. Now the Profs are playing in the Kean zone. Tess Herman is dispossessed right there, and it's picked up by Jocelyn Kane. Still with Kane down this near side of the field. That's going to return back to the Profs. On that was Gracie Merrick, and Gracie Merrick, no stranger to overtime heroics.
Yeah, absolutely not against Lynchburg, game winner.
Now here come the Cougars. Pass inside the semicircle. Excellent defense right there from the Profs, and it's a free possession.
That's Sophia Weissler, the freshman who has been unbelievable lately. Just took home an NJAC Freshman of the Week nomination last week. She has been so good. I mean,
all these freshmen have been incredible. And the thing is with Rowan Sports is they're very willing to give freshmen a chance. It really doesn't depend on the coach. You know, if you got the talent, you can play. You can play. You know, if you're willing to work hard, you can play. No matter how young or old are you, you know, within the college landscape.
Yeah, we've seen that just about in every sport for the profs this season.
Yeah, Mordecai Ford for football.
Yeah, absolutely. Jessica Smart leads the volleyball team in kills.
There you go.
With a freshman setter.
Kean has dominated possession so far. Tries to connect right there. Number 17, Jasmine Frack, wasn't able to pick it up. She's from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. But it's going to be Rowan ball here. Just kind of back and forth play right here for the Profs and the Cougars. Gracie Merrick in the middle of the action. Trying to pick it up was number 20, Sydney Kowalczyk, another one of those excellent freshmen for the Profs.
Yeah, she's been unbelievable this year. Leads the team in goals. Spent her freshman year redshirting at Wagner, so she still has her freshman status as she comes over here.
Division I experience. You know,
right.
not in the game because she was redshirt, obviously, but you know she's training in a Division I environment.
Mm-hmm.
That's very valuable experience too, and no wonder she's a starter as a freshman. Goes the way of the Cougars. Now it's picked up by the Profs as the ball rattles off the legs of a Kean defender. You know, I'm surprised that there isn't more padding in the legs for field hockey, because
fair point.
Because it's just on the shins too. I mean, I know your calves got a lot of meat, but still though, that's gotta hurt. Just that hard rubber ball rattling off your legs, and you're not. The ball's not allowed to touch the legs too. So,
right.
Because every time it touches the legs, whistle. It's all right there.
Yeah.
Now here comes Herman, the engine room of this Profs team, trying to drive down this near side, but she's defended well by the Kean Cougars. That was number 8 on that one, Lily Freed. So it's going to be Profs ball, not a penalty corner. They're just going to be able to restart here as that pass is picked up by Freed. Good pressure from Badaloni. Now it's going the way of the Cougars, so a restart here for them.
Yeah, nice job by Badaloni there, but I would have liked to see a little bit more aggression on the Profs end to try to keep them. I mean, they had it in the circle. You know, you got to keep it there as long as you can, and now look, it's all, all the way on the other side of the field.
And that's the one thing I think if you ask Coach Andre, that's what she would want out of her team, because this team has been perfect through the last 7 games. They really haven't done a lot wrong, too, and they've played their game most of the quarters, but there just seems to be, on some of these attacking plays, they lack some teeth. And that's not a discredit to anybody. I think there's still a learning curve when you have a small roster, or as the ball's in the box, shot, saved by Giuliano. She's on the ground, and it's thankfully going to be picked up by the Profs right there by Paige Gray. That was a scary moment.
Phenomenal job though by Giuliano on the initial save. Don't love how far she came out, or had to come out to make the save, because as you mentioned, it was a little empty there for a second, so a great job by Paige Gray to control possession, but overall, really nice job by the defense. Just have to be a little bit more cautious going forward.
Yeah, very, very cautious going forward. Now here's Kowalczyk. She had a 3-on-2, but ended up getting stopped.
She's pretty easily identifiable today with long sleeves.
Yeah, one of the only players with long sleeves, too.
Getting a little bit chillier as the days go on here in mid-October.
Yeah, it's already sunset, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Sunset at 6:05 p.m.
You seem a little irritated.
I'm not irritated. No, I'm not irritated. You know what make me happy?
What's that?
Prop score a goal.
Fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Before it gets dark.
Yeah, before it gets dark. Oh, almost a chance right there for the Profs, but the pass goes wayward. We'd have a restart here. That was Alexa Ronning on the pass from Marlton, New Jersey. Went to Cherokee High School. It's a lot of these. The one thing that Rowan Sports does really well is they recruit excellently from South Jersey. There's not a lot of high-level recruits going the other way or going to a different school.
Yeah, certainly one that you'd like to mention is Carly Pritchett, who's up at Kean. Played her high school games across the street at Glassboro High School.
Yeah.
Literally across the street.
Literally across the street. So Aurelia McManus trying to break in right there, but now it's back with Kean. It's number 10, Emma Devlin on the ball right there. She's got 4 goals on the season. She slaps it forward, but to no avail.
Yeah, nice job by the pressure from freshman Ella Toll.
And Ella Toll's another freshman I've really been impressed by too. She's not lighting up the box score, but she makes her presence known. Nifty move right there from Tess Herman. Oh, another great move right there. She challenges forward. No one to her left though, so that pass is going to go wayward.
Yeah, my guess is she thought Kaylee Wenzel was a little closer to the action than she was.
I'm inclined to believe you. I'm very inclined to believe you. Here's Ronning again. Great pass forward, and being swept away by the Kean defense. That was number 5, Kylie Elwell from Egg Harbor Township. Almost made a play right there. Excellent run, too. And that was a great pass by Tess Herman.
Yeah, phenomenal pass and phenomenal reception there by Elwell.
It's being able to reel that one in. I believe we are going to get our first penalty corner of the game.
Yep.
And Rowan has been exceptional in penalty corners as of late. I feel like they made a change, or I've seen they made a change in the Lynchburg game. Because Tess Herman was on the penalty corners in the first half. Then they changed it. And they ended up winning off a penalty corner goal in overtime. The insert. It's going to go to Ronning. Ronning shoots. Mess around the goal, but it's going to be Kean ball. That was a good job by the Kean defense being able to lock things down. And Daniela Maresca is the goalkeeper for the Cougars. She did a really good job of shutting things down right there. Look at Tess Herman steal that one away. Refs, the Kean Cougars players trying to call for a penalty, but to no avail right there. And now on the ball for the Profs is number 7, Gracie Maricas. That one travels out of bounds.
But yeah, to your point about the penalty corners, they've played around a lot with that this year. Initially, they did not have Herman as involved. Before the Muhlenberg game on the road, they got Herman more involved. They've certainly changed things around quite a bit.
Yeah, and I think having Herman as the person that is on the top of the semicircle as opposed to the insert makes the most plays happen, because she's the most talented player on the field, and she's most of the time at all times. She does a really good job of picking out a pass, picking out a good shot, and almost making a clearance right there. Almost put it in the back of her own net. It's going to be Prof's ball. Nicely done by the defense right there, being able to draw a foul, and hopefully they're able to get out of their own end with a well-placed pass here from Aurelia McManus. That one's going to go to Ronning. Ronning's got it. She's got the run from Elwell. Plays it forward, but it's stopped by the Cougar defender. Still with Elwell, but it's going to stay with the Profs here. Here's Ronning. And that one's going to run out of bounds into the end zone. You'd like to see a better pass right there. I mean, for the Profs, the only thing they've lacked is that end product right now. But, I like the fact that they're going down both wings and trying to create overloads on each side. Because it's similar to like what you see in soccer too, is they're just trying to create overloads on the wings and then get down the byline, cross it into the middle. Oh, and that ball's going to get away. Here's Giuliano, kicks it away smartly. Well done from the veteran goalkeeper. That's the experience you expect.
And the execution was perfect. Shannon Conroy, who leads the Kean team, just got past Conroy. Could not allow her to get possession based off that kick, and Giuliano did a phenomenal job getting it past her.
Yeah, phenomenal job right there, but no avail as this Rowan team is pressing very high up the field too. And that's a thing that they've had to tinker with over the course of the season, is their press and how aggressive they were going to be in, attacking on offense too. Because it's not about aggression in the semicircle; it's about the aggression and the mentality of the team. Like, how far are we going to push up the field? And they've definitely tinkered with that this season. Cross into the box, picked up by Wilson. Does she have a shot? She will have a penalty corner though. So the Profs, second penalty corner of the game. Excuse me, that was
Ava Thomas.
Not Wilson. That was Ava Thomas. Thank you very much, LB.
No problem.
Thank you very much, LB.
Yeah, another freshman who's made a difference.
I mean,
from Seneca.
From Seneca, yep.
looks like a different inserter. I think this says McManus.
Aurelia McManus, the defender. So this is a big surprise, too. McManus, whistle blows. Here comes the insert. They decide to play it wide. Shot in. Almost redirected. The goalie moves the post.
Yeah, there's got to be something about a dislodge there, right? That the cage got dislodged.
Yeah, that seems illegal. You know, if I were a betting man, I would expect Rowan to have a positive outcome to this play. So the referees will discuss it here. 99 Maresca just kind of jabs at the net, and it comes, like you said, dislodged. We now await the decision. And it's going to be a penalty shot for the Profs.
Really?
I mean, you got to think. You got to think because, you know, I think a corner would be wouldn't be enough. And if you know the only other option is to go with the penalty shot.
Yeah. So here's Abby Goblish. Hasn't tallied a goal since last year in a 6-1 win over Catholic.
Yeah. Here we go. Whistle blows. Shots. Goal! Nicely done right there, capitalizing off the mistake of the Profs. And Abby Goldbrish gives the Profs a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, a great job by Goblish just to find the perfect spot in the net. There's not a whole lot to break down in those penalty corners. Love that they got the opportunity to do it.
And that's the thing is that penalty shot only occurs because the Profs executed that corner. And I think that's a change that we've started to see on this win streak is the strategy differences between losses and wins.
Yeah, and love the effort out of the freshman Ella Toll because she was the one that had to control that ball that she was got. I think it was off of Roning's shot to kind of create that chaos down low. I can now say that I've seen a net dislodge penalty turn into a penalty stroke for field hockey. I don't think I've ever seen that. I might be mistaken. I've seen a lot of field hockey over the years.
Seen a lot of field hockey. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. This is my third field hockey game that I'm ever watching. Actually, that I'm ever watching. I think I've seen 6. So I've been here 3 broadcasts and then 3 times as the beat writer for the newspaper here, The Wit. Wow. Here comes Thomas. On the far side, makes a move, shot blocked.
She had Griffin down there, and I think Thomas was more so looking for the shot. Obviously, it's going to create a corner now. Kind of had Griffin right there.
Hey, I mean, you know, you'll take a corner too, another chance for an assist. But yeah, maybe had another option right there, but you know, still works out for the Profs. And McManus is going to get another chance at it. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I like the insert that she had last time. So
also, look where Thomas is too, on the 10-yard line at this on the near side of the field.
Yeah, don't be shocked. I'm not saying they will, but don't be shocked that this goes to Herman, who plays it right to Thomas on the right side.
So it goes to Herman, the insert, pass, shot, off the post, unbelievable.
So it went right to Herman. She went off to the left side. I think it was 2 back to Goblish, who just had the goal.
I mean, yeah, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. She's got the hot stick, if you will. But I don't know if it went out of bounds. Or I don't know if it hit off the post. I think it hit off the bottom of the goal.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was.
In the end zone, and you heard a clunk. But it's with the Profs. Here's Kowalczyk, brings it into the semicircle, makes a move. She has a shot, saved by Maresca. She gets her own shot back, puts in a cross, and it's going to be a penalty corner for the Profs. That was excellent play right there from Kowalczyk.
Yeah, before the first shot, she switched off to the left side. Really, really strong move to create a lot of space. Brought her stick up a little high. She's got to watch that. Controlled the rebound, got the corner. Nice job overall done by Kowalczyk, and it's going to be McManus again. Thomas is set up on that right side again. Herman is the first one in that pack in the middle, so don't be surprised again if they go to Herman, who plays it off to her left or right side.
There you go. Coach LB. Now here comes the insert. Goes to Herman. Herman off to Goldbrish. Shot doesn't go anywhere. Still with Goldbrish. She wins it back. Now with Thomas. She shoots. Excuse me, that was Griffin, and it's going to be not a goal kick because that's not the correct term. So we restart here.
Yeah, they're going to bring that up to
for
the 25.
the Cougars.
Now they're going to play it a little bit further back.
Yeah, I think the max you can go to is is that yellow dotted semicircle.
Believe so.
Outside of the hard semicircle, or the filled out semicircle. Here's McManus. And the Profs driving. It's number 3, Sophia Wiesler down there. Now it's with Tullio, and it's going to be a restart here. So it's going to be a restart, like I said, LB. But Profs dominating possession in Kean's half, and this is a lot like we saw in that Lynchburg game too. Is when the Profs had possession, they were making things happen too, and look at the press as well.
Yeah, I was hoping that Weissler would step up a little bit, and she did. And there they get it right back.
Exactly.
Nice job, double team on the near side. Nice job. That hit off of Kean, so this is going to stay with Rowan, I believe.
No,
it was off Rowan. It only got 30 seconds anyways.
Yeah. As we close things out, what are some things that you've liked from the Profs?
Well, right now they're playing a lot of keep away, which I really like. Obviously, love the effort that they've had on, 3 or 4, I think 4 quarters now.
Here comes Herman. Goldbush fires a shot. It's going to go wide. I believe it's going to be Rowan ball. But that's going to do it here for the first quarter. So the Profs lead 1-0. So excellent job from Rowan in the early going, getting ahead early. And we are going to take a quick step off here. Rowan Athletics YouTube. I've been Leo West, joined alongside LB. Don't go anywhere.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
In one word, if I had to describe Trifecta Therapeutics,
If I had to describe Trifecta in one word, it would be empower. The purpose of Trifecta Therapeutics would be to empower the athletic community.
I just really like the population of having active individuals and people who really want to get back, doing whatever they could to get back and want to be part of that process.
We want them to feel like this is an environment where they belong and where they're going to get the best possible care.
This is a professional environment. They're all working with their doctor of physical therapy, but I want them to be comfortable and fun.
Not only do we want to rehab you from your injuries, we want to get you to an optimal place as an athlete.
My clients are also they're active, they're hungry, they all want to get back to something.
They're focused and they're dedicated. That's a perfect combination.
You really want to be challenged and get to your goals faster. That's what I would say from here.
Hello, I'm Leo West, and welcome back to this field hockey presentation on Rowan Athletics YouTube. The Profs are up 1-0, and we are headed to the second period. So the last 15 minutes of the first half are going to commence in just a short moment. But my color commentator, Luke Brown, what are your thoughts on the first quarter?
Yeah, I mean, again, I really like the effort that they show in the quarters. If you don't get that effort out of Ella Toll, Abby Goblish on the right side post, and that never becomes dislodged, and you never get the penalty stroke, and we'd be knotted up at 0 after 1 quarter of play. So, not a whole lot to break down on the goal itself. Abby Goblish just found the right spot, delivered one into the kind of midsection off to the left side of the net, and was able to just sneak one past the starting goalkeeper for Kean, who is Daniela Maresca. I think Tess Herman's played really well. I'm interested to see how involved Cindy Kowalczyk gets. I think that everybody's kind of looked at her as a goal scorer this year because she has been one. Everybody wants to see how well that she can play. Currently on the bench, but that very standard. Just using different players off your bench and whatnot for Michelle Andre here. So interested to see how they play this second quarter.
Yeah, Andre's got a big roster, that's for sure.
That is, but yeah,
they got about 6 or 7 more players than the Kean Cougars.
Yeah, it's usually about that. I mean, you look at. Personally, I didn't realize how large Rowan's roster was until you show up every game and you see different teams roll through, and all their benches are very different than Rowan's. I mean, they have a full lineup of girls ready to get in and play.
They also have three backup goalies
Yes.
compared to Kean's one.
Yeah, Delphina Vanelli, Kaylee Crescenzo, and Ella Morton. Morton, who just played a couple games when Giuliano was unavailable.
Yeah, Ella Morton, too. In her first collegiate game, gets a win and keeps a clean sheet in overtime to keep the Profs. And she had like 13 saves in that game, too.
Yeah, 13 saves, 3 goals against in that game. And then very next game, last Wednesday against Stockton, she comes in, second college game, and she's got to battle once again. It was another 4-3 win in regulation. Profs were down by 2 very late into the game. I think it was like with 2.5 minutes they were down 2 goals. Came back to win it against an NJAC rival. So 2 college games for Ella Morton. She said she was nervous too.
She said she was very anxious.
Yeah. She said whenever she hopefully gets another opportunity to play at this level, that she'll be a little bit more prepared. It won't be so last minute, and she won't be as nervous. She had to get a lot of the jitters out in those first 2 games, and how could you not? I mean, you're going up against 4-3.
First of all, number 20 Lynchburg.
Right, and then an NJAC rival in Stockton that came in and really wanted a piece of Rowan. I mean, everybody this year has gotten, the A game of their opponent for Rowan. Rowan has gotten everybody's top game. The record that they have at 11-3 is pretty impressive.
Especially considering that they've already exceeded their ranked win total from last year. They had 2 ranked wins last year. They already have 3 this year. And then I believe they're 3-2 in ranked games as well.
Which is a huge area that they did not perform well in last year. That's a huge improvement for this team.
Very big improvement. The Profs continuing this high intensity press. The Cougars still trying to work their way around it. And not able to get by Herman and Abbott. Again, this Profs defense, I think the best form of defense for them is attack. And, the other team can't score if you don't give them the ball, too.
Right.
That's why I like the intensity, how fast and how hard they're going and flying around the field. There's the pass to Ronning. It's going to bounce out of bounds, but that's another aggressive pass right there.
Yeah, they've tried to work those balls into the circle.
Can you get a restart?
Sometimes it's paid off and sometimes it hasn't.
And even if it doesn't work out, still positive. Big positive. There's a penalty corner, so the Profs get their 4th penalty corner of the game. 5th penalty corner of the game. Again, that aggressive nature for the Profs, they fly across this field, is paying off for them.
Yeah, it absolutely has. I mean, their aggressive nature in this game has led to how many corners now, Leo? How many do you have there?
5.
5 corners? This is going to be McClellan on the insert, who just subbed in.
Yeah, Riley McClellan, the defender, just checks in. There's the insert. Goes back to Fody. Fody rips a shot. It's in the net. Mia Fody doubles the advantage for the Rowan Profs. It's 2-0. Nicely done right there off the insert. And magic happens for Mia Fody.
You just cannot say enough about how Mia Fody has come alive in this, I don't know if you want to call it back half of the season. I think
call the 7-game win streak.
Right, yeah. I mean, you're looking at Mia Fody, who did not have a goal up until, I believe, the Muhlenberg game on September 13th, which is not that deep into the season.
It's still like 5 or 6 games.
But they make some offensive adjustments with her, and she has just absolutely come alive. And especially the way that they've used her on the corners. What we saw from Ava Thomas on that right side is a lot of the time where Fody will be, and she'll park herself right along that right post to try to get a redirect into the net. It's worked numerous times. It's, in fact, why they beat Stockton is because of that adjustment that they've made. And it just fits her play style. I mean, she's one of the taller girls on the team. To be able to kind of use the size that she has, the height advantage over a lot of the people that are trying to press her on defense, it works for this team.
Yeah.
So, and then not to mention what we just saw, which was her shooting power. I mean, she's one of the Profs' more complete players as just a sophomore, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how she progresses through this season, what's left of it, plus hopefully a deep playoff run, and through the rest of her career here. I mean, she's really, really kind of found her niche in terms of what works for her skill set on the field.
Yeah, well, look at McClellan playing on the offensive line here. So a defender being used as an attacker in this situation. But I think in regards to Foti, she's a target forward. She is like the person you try to bounce passes off of in the build-up, and then in the semicircle, she's a fox in the box for sure. But here come the Rowan Profs. McClellan powering through. Riley McClellan's popped up out of nowhere. She's got herself an assist and almost wins herself penalty corner. I could have argued for a trip right there, but it's going to be a restart for the Kean Cougars.
I think it was a penalty on Toll from the.
It was a foul on Toll
before.
Yep.
I think she brought her stick up too
gotcha.
high.
Okay. That's what friends are for. That's what, keeping each other in check. There's Weisler on the restart.
Yeah, that was a little bit too fluid, I think, on the restart. I don't think that she really stopped and restarted it.
Yeah. Here's Merrick trying to find a way into the semicircle. She does.
Great job.
And it's a penalty corner. Nicely done by the Profs. That's their 6th penalty corner of the game. Guess how many Kean has? Big old donut hole.
Yeah, they have not had any. They haven't had enough possession, so.
And they just haven't had enough time.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, you think about the possession that they have. It's in between the 40-yard line and the 20-yard line on this right side of the field. And the Rowan press has been so effective. Here's Riley McClellan again.
Toll is the one set up on the near side that time. Thomas is not in.
Ronning to Herman. Ronning tries to get it again. Herman tries to get it again, but the Kean Cougars swipe it away. But the Profs are going to retain possession here on the restart. McManus chased it down, but there's no need to grab that because it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be your ball anyway.
In theory, that corner works really well. You get it to Ronning, who passes over to Herman. Herman's hardly ever going to take a shot on the corner, but she goes right back to Ronning. Ronning's their power player on the corners. I mean, Ronning has the most power behind her shots of anybody on the team. So if you can tee her up the way that was intended to do, that's perfect. But, defense gets in the way, and you got to make sure those passes are pristine.
Yeah, and that was a really good play by Jocelyn Kean, breaking that corner up in the set play for the Profs. That's the effort you're really going to need if you want to get back into this game and try to push the ball forward. The Profs just playing some excellent keep away. I'd love if we could see a time possession or a possession percentage stat here. I think that's another thing that would be nice to have in our live stats too. I'm not going to complain about our live stats.
Phenomenal.
Because the men and women who do it here for the Profs and for all of Rowan Athletics do an excellent job, and we as broadcasters, reap the fruit of their benefit, or reap the fruit of their labor.
Yeah, invaluable asset.
Invaluable, for sure.
Every game I find myself wondering what the true stats of time of possession were. I was just talking about that during Rowan men's soccer's win over Stockton on Wednesday night. Would love to see what those numbers look like because, especially in this game, I mean, Kean just has not had
Talking about the Alvernia
much
game?
of a chance.
The men's soccer game against Alvernia?
Stockton.
Beat Stockton. Okay, the Stockton game. Okay.
Got another big one against Montclair State tomorrow night. And an off Saturday for the Profs in terms of field hockey.
Oh, that very rarely happens.
Yeah, Friday night game.
I remember I do the double headers. Start with football and with field hockey. I could probably stay here overnight at Coach Richard Wecker Stadium.
I think we both could
tonight. I think we both could tonight for sure. I mean,
for
you're going to be here at 10 a.m.
That's true.
I'm probably going to be here at 12:30ish. Let's say. So I get to sleep in. You not so. Here's the Kean Cougars. This is the first time we've seen them in the Rowan semicircle for a long time. Look at that defense right there by Aurelia McManus. Blocks it once, blocks it twice. No room there for the Kean Cougars, and the Profs able to regroup here. Swiped away, batted up forward. Nicely done by Thomas. She's going to bring it forward.
A lot of speed.
A lot of speed right there. She's got a runner. That's Badaloni. Played up to Badaloni. Spins. Fires. blocked away. Here's Merrick, tries to slip it through Maresca's legs, but to no avail. The Profs have their, call it, third scoring chance of the game.
Well, and I go back to the pass from Ava Thomas to Lily Badaloni. That was unbelievable.
Yep.
That was one of the better passes I've seen this season. I mean, she backhanded it towards Badaloni, played perfectly by Badaloni. Unfortunate that they didn't have a scoring chance there. Well, they had a chance, just didn't convert it.
Oh, nice block right there for McManus. It's going to fall to the Cougars, and that's easy for Juliana. Just could collect it and kick it out of bounds. You'd rather hope, or you'd rather it go out on the sideline as opposed to behind the goal, as now the Profs will prepare for a penalty corner.
Giuliano got a little desperate there because she didn't know where it was, and then she had to look down at her feet for a few seconds, so she kind of lost where the attacker was, so just kicked it as soon as she could. Great defensive pickup by Tess Herman before the shot came, because that would have been a one-on-one with a running attacker, and Giuliano kind of just left out like, oh, you better save it, but Herman picks her up really, really nicely there, so great job by Tess Herman on the defensive end.
Yeah, nicely. And look, that's why she's in the midfield too. And she's the best, progressive carrier on this team. One of the best defenders too. But now here comes the insert. Here's the shot, and it's in the back of the net. That was a very, very excellent shot right there from Jasmine Frack, and she cuts the deficit down to 1. Rowan still leads 2-1, but definitely a frustrating goal because we've talked about Rowan Prof's been playing keep away in this one, but Kean gets some possession and they score the goal. Luke, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they just announced it as Sophia Candeloro. I believe it was Jasmine Frack, as you mentioned. That's her third goal of the season. I mean, that's very similar to Alexa Ronning. You get a lot of power behind that shot. It weaves through the defense, gets past the goalkeeper, and, what are you going to do at some points in the game?
And it may have been a redirect as well, but that was a very, very powerful shot.
Certainly was.
That looked like a Mia Foti shot or an Alexa Ronning shot right there. Here comes Herman down the near side.
Got to get past that.
Taking on Kean, and I mean Jillian, or Kean the defender, not Kean the team.
They whistled that on Herman.
I don't like that call. I'll be frank. Luke. I don't like that call. And it's still with Kean. Restart a little bit too fluid, as you so eloquently put it. Now Kean getting some possession and some momentum, too. They are looking very dangerous here in this latter half of period number 2. Profs looking for a response. Tess gets clattered right there. So Herman's going to be, gets the restart. It's going to go to McManus on the right side. On the right side, she's got Weisler. Weisler does really well to win it back.
Yeah, I don't know how she kept that ball.
It's got to be what they're working on in practice. It's still with the Profs too. Weisler still has it. Restart.
Weisler's
a little too fast.
She's a little frustrated, I think, with that. But she's got to understand a little bit more of the restart. It's just a little bit too one motion for her. They keep calling her on it.
And she's fighting hard too. She's putting that anger to use.
Yeah, I mean, playing super well in this stretch.
Yep. Weisler on the restart. This time not whistled for a stoppage. And it's going to be a foul against the Profs, so Kean gets it. And that is the end of that Profs possession. But Profs got a little bit, they got deeper into the Kean territory and looked like they had some teeth to their offense. Nicely done by Tullio. It's going to stay with her. She's got Weisler behind her. She comes down this right side. Guarded by two Cougars. She falls in the box. Ref tells her to get up, as it is going to be a restart for the Profs. So the good thing is that they kept the ball in that possession. And they're going to get another hack at it here. It's Herman on the RU logo on this near side of the field. Weisler with a pass to nobody, unfortunately. Wins it back, though. Good effort.
Yeah, nice stick handling by her. And She's got her look towards the officials, looking for something.
Yeah, I just think that she thinks the referees are on her. Maybe like, oh, they're not giving me the call. I think, every player's going to have moments like that.
Yeah, nice chase down there by Elwell, but she just cannot get to it. So it's going to be Freed gives it back in, Lily Freed.
The thing that I think we have to mention about the props is they're playing with a lot of effort, and it should may have resulted in another goal or two, but they are leading and they're playing with effort too. So even when they go up, it doesn't look like they're willing to give that lead away. Trying to play their way out of trouble as Kean has got a little pressure on the props right here. Nicely done by Prendergast. Still pressing on, but it slaps off her shin. So it's a no-go, but McManus picks it up. She's guarded by 2 Cougars. Now picked up by Tullio. Nicely done right there. One of the Cougars looks a little bit shaken up. That's number 16, Emma Killeen. Hopefully she's able to walk it off and be all right. Now playing on this far side of the field. It's Goldbush trying to bring it in. And for this Rowan Props team, I think a third goal would definitely, don't think it's going to salt the game away, but I definitely think it's going to be smoother sailing, because with the 1-goal advantage, especially against a Kean team, it's like a lot more positive in this second quarter. It's not a comfortable position, that's for sure. Here come the props. 10 seconds left. There's Herman. She gets the pass off. Here comes Thomas, scooped away by Maresca. Still 5 seconds on the clock. Bounced around the semicircle, and that's going to do it for the first half here at Coach Richard Wacker Stadium. The Profs lead 2-1, but Kean does respond in this one. We are going to take a short break here, and we'll be back for the third period. I'm Leo West, joined alongside Luke Brown. Don't go anywhere.
And that's the end of the first half of play.
Welcome back to this presentation of Rowan Field Hockey here on Rowan Athletics YouTube. My name is Leo West, and I am joined tonight alongside Luke Brown. And Luke, for a very interesting game so far. A lot to talk about, a lot that we have observed, but the Profs are up 2-1. So what's your reaction to the first half just before we get started here?
Yeah, obviously they got to just continue to play with intensity. I think that they did a pretty good job of that late in the second quarter when the deficit got shrunk down to 1 for Kean. So you play with intensity here, you get another goal on the board, and just try to take the pressure off in the fourth quarter. That's all about, what they need to do in this third quarter. Just kind of make this fourth quarter a little bit easier on yourselves because, to be quite frank, losing to Kean is not what they want to do.
No.
They don't want to lose to anybody, but Kean is 7-6 overall, and,
Sure it's not 6 and 7?
It's 7-6.
Okay.
7 wins, 6 losses. They were 6-12 last year. This is a Kean Cougars team that is on a 2-game win streak. They beat St. John Fisher 5-1, and they beat William Patterson 4-0. But you kind of look at like the circle of NJAC field hockey, and you look at TCNJ, who Rowan just beat. TCNJ beat this Kean team 7-0. That's a pretty good scale if you don't know anything about NJAC field hockey. This is a Rowan team that was capable of hanging around and then beating TCNJ. TCNJ is a good enough team to beat Kean 7-0. So you want to take this game and you want to take it with ease. So try to make that happen here in the second or third quarter. Excuse me.
And it's not to say that the Profs haven't made things complicated, but just make things easier for yourself. And I think if you do that, you hang on, you win the game. And it is easier said than done, of course. That's why we play the games. You play the games, play the games. But hopefully the Profs are able to do something here, as they're already down in the Kean Cougars half, but it's going to be a restart for the Cougars. And if we are expecting this Profs team to beat, they beat TCNJ, I think we should be expecting some more goals in the second half if TCNJ beat them by 7 and didn't allow the Cougars to score at all. Now here comes the Cougars down this far side of the field. That's Emma Devlin, went to St. Joseph Academy. Now it's back with the Profs. Good stick work right there from Gracie Merrick. So she hasn't put her name on the score sheet in this game. Has been known to do so at times. He's got 2 goals in the season, 5 assists.
Kowalczyk.
She's another one of those impressive freshmen as well, as Kowalczyk with 2 defenders trying to win that ball back, and she's able to force a wayward pass that's collected by Gracie Merrick. Down to Ava Thomas. Thomas puts a really good ball in. Mareska doesn't get to it. It's an open net. Will the Profs score? It's in! Excellent work by the Profs on that second attempt to get it into the back of the net. And I believe that was Mia Foti with her second goal of the game.
That's what they announced here in Stadium. I was more so looking at Alexa Ronning to see, where she was going to be able to position herself on that play, because I thought that she was probably going to be the one who had an opportunity to score herself, and then Mia Foti just gets down kind of on 2 knees and backhands the ball, just a slow roller past the goalie. Really nice job by Foti. I mean, she's been really, really, really good this season.
Yeah, in some excellent form, to say the least. She had 7 coming into this game. She is 1 away from double digits at 9, and she has had an excellent game so far. And that's a real poacher's finish right there. She was hanging around the net, poaches the ball, taps it in the back of the net, and just capitalizes off the mistake of Daniela Mareska, the goaltender for the Kean Cougars. Now look at Foti again, being powerful and trying to will her way into the semicircle. And the Cougars, they got nowhere to go, too. This is exactly what we were talking about, Luke, when we said intensity. And the Profs are playing with some intensity right now. Mareska has to make another kick of the ball right there. Sends it out of bounds on the far side.
Foti's got 9 goals this season now, 7 coming into today. Her 9 goals are second on the team behind Kowalczyk, who's got 14.
Yeah, Kowalczyk has done a lot of damage, especially in those away games too. And that's when you need goals the most. So now it's Weisler down around the 10-yard line on the far side of the field, battling against 3 Cougars, wheeling her way in. She's still got the ball. Unbelievable. Now inside the semicircle, and it's going to be a penalty corner. Sophia Weisler, excellent job, excellent effort right there. Again, wheeling her way in there and getting the 6th penalty corner for the Profs today. Or, excuse me, the 7th penalty corner. You know, is it 6 or is it 7? Who knows? Who knows, Luke? But we do know because we got live stats.
Interested in who this inserter is going to be because it's been pretty fluctuant today.
Looks like Gracie Merrick.
Yeah, it is Merrick.
McManus down on the semicircle. Here comes the insert. Merrick to Ronning. Now with McManus. McManus shoots. The splits from Maresca cleared off the line.
I don't even know where the ball is.
And it's a scrambled away.
Thomas had it. Thomas brings it all the way out to the line.
Unbelievable.
Nice job by Thomas to kind of reset that play from the side.
For sure. Now it's with Herman. And Herman's going to lose it. Kean trying to bring it up.
McManus has a chance to get it back here, though.
That's a very well done by McManus. She's been one of the standouts for sure in this one.
The referee calls it back, which obviously helps.
Well, for sure, yeah. But look, sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time. Look at the pressure right there from Weisler. And then look at the follow-up by Merrick. Unable to get it there, but the press, when executed correctly, has been doing a fantastic job. And Abbott just trying to smack it forward, and she gets the ball back for the Profs. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna level with you, Luke. I don't know how the Profs didn't put that in the back of the net.
Yeah,
Maresca was facing the goalpost. Her head was turned towards the goalpost, and she was on all fours. I don't know how the Profs weren't able to capitalize off that too.
Yeah.
And it's not for a lack of trying either.
Yeah, certainly not. I mean, it was a scramble. You couldn't see the ball very well from up here, and Ava Thomas brings it back out to the sideline, kind of resets the play.
Here come the Cougars. It's number 5, Conroy, bringing it in towards number 2, Breggy. Swept away. Nicely done by the Profs. It's very good defense right here. But, even with how aggressive the Profs were being, look how many defenders they have back protecting the goal.
Right.
You're asking a lot of your players physically, and Profs seem up to it. Penalty corner, Kean. It's very unfortunate right there as the Profs seem to be on the verge of clearing that ball out, but Kean's going to collect their 2nd penalty corner of the game, and they're going to look for their 2nd goal of the game too. And as for the Profs, you don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to make mistakes because that's just going to end you up, in a world of hurt.
Good job by Mia Foti. She checks out. Another great shift by her.
An excellent shift for Mia Foti.
Badaloni and Kaylee Wenzel will check in when the quarter whistle blows.
Here comes the insert. Played towards the far side. Shot. Saved by Giuliano, and it's in the back of the net. And the Kean Cougars get their 2nd goal of the game. Still the Profs lead 3-2, but just like we saw in the 2nd period, life is a little bit more uncomfortable for the Profs as they continue to press on and protect their lead.
Yeah, love the fact that the Profs, both times the Kean have scored, even with the score, the Profs are still up by 1 goal, but you got to keep limiting those goals, and it's kind of the same type of deal for both Kean goals. It's just a lot of power that's behind one of those corners for the Cougars, and it gets through. So the corner defense is certainly somewhere that the Profs are going to have to continue working on.
Yeah, a little bit more to be asked for.
Yeah, the Kean has not had many corners today is another, interesting note. But if Kean continues to get corners and, their percentage on corners is higher than Rowan's is, even though Rowan has the lead, Kean has just played the corners really well.
Crossed, saved by Maresca. Trying to bring it back is Ronning. Bringing it into the box. Into the fray is Paige Gray. And that ball is going to make its way all the way out to the track. So now it's going to be running on the restart. Brings it in towards Herman. Herman gets in there, penalty corner props. So the props will have an opportunity to respond. And with this opportunity, just take what Kean did and just do it yourself. It's not like you don't have the personnel to do it. You know, lay it off, you know, have the insert go to Herman or have the insert go directly to Ronning or go directly to Fody and have him shoot from the top of the key. And make sure you get players for the redirect as well, because that's exactly what happened on this other side when we saw the Kean goal. Here comes the insert.
Herman should go to Ronning here.
And that she does. Ronning fires through the legs. It's in. You called it exactly how it went, LB. Right to Herman, lays it off to Ronning. Ronning shoots, 5-hole goal. Profs lead 4-2. That's exactly how you respond. And that goal was definitely needed for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Ronning power that you're going to continue to see throughout the course of this game. If they're able to dish her and tee her up on the corners, I mean, I would almost man mark her coming out of the cage if I'm Kean. If you see Ronning set up on a isolation out there on an island, just run straight at her, because you know that's where they're going to dish it. And if she has enough space, she's just going to unload on one, and that's what she did there.
Yeah, I mean, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, too. I think that's a wrinkle in Rowan's game that a lot of teams don't have, is not only do they have Alexa Ronning, but they also have Mia Fody, too. Two girls with absolutely powerful shots.
But Fody, as we talked about earlier, who has the height advantage, who can redirect those.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's say Ronning goes wide right. Fody's the one who's supposed to be set up on that right post, because if Ronning goes wide to the right, Fody's right there. She lays her stick down and knocks it in on a redirect.
Exactly.
They've done that a lot this year, and it's worked a lot.
It has worked a lot. They, you know, with the changes in corner tactics, it's proven to be successful. Kean trying to respond. In between Rowan defenders, restart Profs. McManus will take this one. He's going to flick it forward. Takes a lot of skill to flick that forward. I don't think I could do it. I definitely don't think I could do it. I'm level with you. Profs defense holds strong after that spell of Kean possession. It's going to make its way all the way back to the 45-yard line on this restart. And it's going to be Profs' ball, so nicely done by Gracie Merrick, laying her body on the line. Now McManus to Merrick. Little tea party going on this far side of the field as they push it forward. So it's going the way of Kean now. I think the players were just as confused as you and me. Still, we don't have a restart in play.
They didn't stop the clock either.
No, they did not stop the clock. Definitely interesting. Interesting to say the least. But now here come the Cougars. Kean on that left side. Excuse me, that's Frack. Trying to play it in, penalty corner, Kean. Actually, I stand corrected again. It's Emma Devlin, number 10 on that left side that created the opportunity.
I'm interested to see how they play the defense here.
Yeah, and honestly, you got to think you got to man mark 17 Frack on this one. Jasmine Frack had the big shot, and that had the Profs, you know, had the Profs scrambling too. Is you go up, when coming out of here, you go up and you go press her, because if they can't get that hard shot off, that's not going to create chaos.
Kean's only had 2 quarters tonight. They've scored on both of them.
Here comes the insert. That shot goes way over the net. And it went to Frack as well. But you saw the pressure right there. Very powerful shot. Goes through the uprights instead of in the cage.
Yeah, that was a scorcher. Oh, boy. Oh,
I thought I heard it whistling.
Yeah. That was a scorcher. That would have been one of the unbelievable goals I've ever seen if that would have clipped the top half of the net and gone in. I mean, you don't usually see bar down in field hockey.
No, you do not usually see a bar down scorcher like that.
Kalawacek.
Got a little too friendly there.
Yeah, see, it's just a little bit too one motion on these restarts. From both sides, we've seen it.
And I don't. And it's probably as a coach, you want to see that. Say they're ready to go.
Yeah.
They're ready to get firing. And we saw an absolute scorcher. I don't think there's a better word for a shot like that than a scorcher. A hammer, or no, because it would be hammered. And we're going to workshop that here on the this presentation of Rowan Field Hockey on Rowan Athletics YouTube. Let us know in the comments what word we should use instead of scorcher.
Goblish just checked in. Badaloni came out. Or no, Ronning. That's Ronning that came out.
Yeah, you can see with the sleeves, Goldbrish on the near side for us. Ball is on the far side. Very good battle between Elwell and the Kean defender. Flicked up into the air again. I don't know if that one was a scorcher.
Yeah.
That looked like a moon ball.
Yeah, a little bit
Moon
more
ball.
of a rainbow.
A rainbow. There you go. The restart. Herman in on that play, trying vigorously to get the ball back. Excuse me, it was McManus. Herman's checked out on the sideline right now. And really, McManus, I mean, she's been all over the field.
Yep.
Another player's having an outstanding game. And again, with a lot of these players, it's not about what they put on the box score. It's about what they're able to do to put those goals in the back of the net, to create those opportunities. It does take a village, more specifically 11 people, but they've been doing an excellent job at that so far. Number 21. In November.
Sure, yeah. I mean, when you're this late in the season and they've pretty much stayed around the same spot in the national rankings that they started off on. I think they started at 16. They're at 14 right now. It'd be hard to not be thinking about playing a little bit of NCAA tournament action.
Why not? Kowalczyk was on the play right there. Restart's going to go Kean's way. That pass is going to bounce off Manus' stick, but Abbott is there to grab it.
And again, they could make a real statement at the end of this season. This is their last home game until the season finale. They're going to go on the road at William Patterson, and then next Saturday they are at number 6 Christopher Newport.
Oof.
Followed up by October 29th, they are at number 3 Salisbury to end the year before coming back to play Montclair State to finish off the regular season and to get that final NJAC conference play game in. If they can steal a game from Newport or Salisbury, then that shocks the nation a little bit in terms of Division III field hockey.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the last time we've seen Rowan going against the top 10 team, it was against Johns Hopkins. They played him very closely.
Yes, they did. Is that really the last ranked matchup?
Not the last ranked matchup, the last top 10
matchup
matchup that they had. Last ranked matchup was against TC&J, correct?
Yeah, yeah, last game, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Lynchburg in there, who was number 20 at the time.
And both teams were tied for 20 at the time.
Right. Yeah, Rowan was tied at 18 the week before that with Ursinus, who they beat
early in the season.
First game.
Yep.
And then they were, as you mentioned, tied with Johns Hopkins. But yeah, that was a really close game here against Johns Hopkins.
Very close game for sure. Penalty corner props. Nicely done by Rowan. I mean, look, the difference between this time around where Rowan is protecting the 2-goal lead, they've just got a little bit more intensity, and it looks like the press against Kean is working exceptionally well, because in this spot last half, we were looking at, Rowan being on the back foot as opposed to the Cougars. And Rowan has a chance to go up 3 goals here with a very good insert. It's McClelland on the insert again.
That's what I thought it was.
Here it comes. Up to Kowalczyk. He's going to pass it over to Goldbush. Shoots. Trip in the box. Goldbush gets another hack. It's in the back of the net. Nicely done. Puts it around Maresca. Clips the post. And it's in. Abigail Goldbush has got her second goal of the game and puts the Profs at a 5-2 lead with under a minute to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, what an unbelievable job there by Goldbush. I mean, you said back of the net, and, obviously that's the saying, but it was the side of the net. She was side net or side cage, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I don't know how she got that angle through the goalkeeper. I mean, she had a clear angle at the goal, but I don't know how you get that through the goalkeeper. I mean, that's a terrific job by her. And let's keep in mind, this is Abby Goldbush, who has not scored this season. She's got 2 tonight. And a 3-goal lead makes a big difference here, Leo.
Yeah, it makes a very big difference in this one for sure. And it's almost like they curved the bullet, like the James McAvoy film. I don't know if the movie's
You were
Wanted.
trying to tell me about movies on the way here. I don't watch. I'm not a film guy.
I know it's from a movie. I'm gonna try to get us updated on that.
I was just happy I knew who played Sully on the way here when we talked about that.
Now, 3 seconds left in the period, and that is going to do it here. When we come back, I will have the name of that James McAvoy flick where he curved the bullet. So don't go anywhere here on Rowan Athletics YouTube. I'm Leah West, joined alongside Luke Brown. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to this presentation of Rowan Field Hockey here on Rowan Athletics. The Profs are now up 5-2, and we have a winner chicken dinner, LB. I did figure out what the name of that James McAvoy flick where he carved the bullets like Abigail Goldbush, curved the ball around Daniela Maresca, and the answer to that question is the movie Wanted with Angelina Jolie too. So
that name rings a bell.
Angelina Jolie, married to Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
you've heard of her.
I said it does ring a bell.
Okay, all right. So, if I showed you a picture of her, would you know who it is?
Nope.
See, that's the issue. How do you not know?
What do you want me to tell you? I watch sports for a living.
So do I.
Not movies.
You've probably written more than me. But
not about movies.
I don't write about movies. We've actually written about movies.
Like you should write about movies.
We've actually written about
movies.
No, but the thing is I don't know what makes a good movie and what's not a good movie. Well,
didn't you take applied media aesthetics?
Yeah, so did you.
I did.
Yeah, and that's why I say we've written about movies equally. But if a film critic watched Grown Ups, they'd be very disappointed. If I watch Grown Ups, I have a great time. That's the difference between me and a movie critic.
Well, yeah, because we are simple-minded people.
I'm a little sophisticated. Speak for yourself, LB.
Well, that third quarter was a movie.
LB, tell us your thoughts on this third quarter.
Well, this is the fourth
okay,
quarter.
all right, okay.
But
Maybe I am simple-minded.
They just need to keep playing their game right now. I think that they did exactly what they needed to do going into the third quarter. I said that, you gotta bring the intensity up this quarter to let the fourth quarter be a pretty easy piece of cake. And as long as they're able to just kind of keep playing their game and run out these 15 minutes, they're on their way to a 3-goal or perhaps more win over a Kean team that they just needed to come out here and take care of business tonight.
Yeah, and taking care of business, that's exactly what they needed to do today, as Olivia Griffin almost collected it, but accidentally kicks it out of bounds.
Diving effort.
And that's the effort we've seen from these profs. They've done an excellent job at making sure that they corral those loose passes. They stay on top of the opponent, and they've pressed really well too. And the thing is when I've talked to the coach, Michelle Andre, when I've talked to players before, it'd be like 8 out of the 11 players pressing. It'd be like 7 out of the 11 players pressing. Now, as we're deeper into the season, it seems like everybody's on the same page when it comes to the defensive structure and the defensive shape and the offensive structure and how the offense looks too. It just seems like the players are talking, they're communicating better, and it's leading to more positive results too.
They've gotten a lot of effort out of a lot of girls tonight.
Mm-hmm. That might be the headline, effort. Just one word.
One-word headline.
One-word headline. I don't know how common those are, but I would say it's very fitting for this contest. Cougars trying to work their way in. That's Frack. And it's out of bounds. So the profs, Michelle Andre is screaming at her players right now, and I don't think it's in a negative tone.
No, she just needed Ava Thomas to get back a little bit.
She is still as energized as ever. Frack sends a good ball into the middle, bouncing around. The profs, do they have a handle on it? It's Sophia Weisler. She puts it out for Merrick. Merrick is able to sweep it forward. Nicely done on that possession right there, and the profs get it back on the restart. Nicely done on the defensive side of the ball. Now, I'm surprised we haven't heard a Rowan chant yet.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like it could be an R.
Yeah.
We do have Rowan Athletic superfan Noah Weinstein down in the field. And the thing is, he really hasn't had to get the crowd involved in this game too, because, like you said, the profs are taking care of business. I think "Taking Care of Business" is a song, actually.
Yeah, taking care of business. Yeah, I know that song.
It's by Bachman Turner Overdrive. I would have to say
not have been able to tell you
that they might have been a one-hit wonder, because I don't even know who that band is.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of one-hit wonders out there. The profs, though, not one-hit wonders.
No.
No, they've scored 5. Scored 5 goals. There's Olivia Griffin trying to push the envelope. Lex Rowan gets the ball stolen away. It's number 5, Conroy, on the good play right there to steal it away. Steal Away. Another good song.
Is that by the Grateful Dead?
No, Steal Away I think it's by Hall & Oates.
Oh, I thought I heard it earlier or something.
No.
Somebody had their phone music on unknowingly full first quarter.
No, and that's unbelievable too. Like
I don't know how that happens.
I don't know how that happens too. And the thing is, that person may not even listen to the Grateful Dead either. They just
You're not a deadhead?
No, my dad's a deadhead. My
Ooh.
dad's a big deadhead. Actually, at Rally House, they had a collab between the Grateful Dead and the Philadelphia Phillies. So you know what I got them for Father's Day? Grateful Dead Philadelphia Phillies shirt. It was the 2 Bears.
That's a perfect gift.
And you know what? I get a discount there. So
true.
my other place of employment besides Rowan Athletics YouTube is Rally House. I actually just worked there a shift today.
Is that right?
That's very right too. Yeah, it wasn't bad. 10 to 3. Got to eat my Wingstop. Profs' next 5 games is going to be
Finish out their season.
Finish out the season in the next 4 games. Yeah, William Patterson will be their next one. Football plays William Patterson tomorrow.
That is true.
Then they have number 6 Christopher Newport. Very, very big matchup, and they're playing in Newport News, Virginia. Then 4 days after that, they play Salisbury in Maryland. Number 3 Salisbury, and then, like you said, LB, they end their season at home against Montclair State. And, you know, those 2 games, Christopher Newport and Salisbury, are probably the biggest games of the prof season. You know, up to this point, it's been TCNJ.
Yeah, I would still say TCNJ takes the cake just because of the implications it has in the NJAC.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of being able to come out and make a statement, I would say those 2 games are pretty darn big.
Oh, and there is the Rowan chant.
Yeah, he might have been listening to us. He's got a big day tomorrow, Noah Weinstein.
He's got a big day tomorrow, too.
Football and soccer, just
Football
like
and
myself.
soccer, yeah. Because I heard you're the sideline reporter
I'll be
for
down
football tomorrow.
Yep.
So, you know, if you're coming to the stadium or if you're watching on Rowan Athletics or Rowan Television Network, make sure you spot LB right down on the home sideline here. What are you going to be wearing tomorrow?
You know, that's a good question that I need to figure out.
Okay.
We got some laundry on tap tonight or tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I'm going to go with white shirt, red tie.
White shirt, red tie.
Blue blazer.
Blue blazer. So if you're looking for LB, he's dressed like a U.S. representative on the side of the field. And he will be talking Rowan football tomorrow, too. And then you're doing soccer as well? Same outfit?
I don't think I'm going to have time to change, Leo.
Yeah, fair enough. Rowan football starts at 2 tomorrow, and then Rowan men's soccer, you said?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
State, that's a big one tomorrow night.
That's a big one. Got about 7.5 minutes here left in this contest. Good drive by Frack. Slams it in. Penalty corner, Kean.
Again, interested to see how they defend this quarter, because those are the 2 goals for Kean that came up tonight.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, they've really done a good job at working the set plays too. Is because when you don't have a chance to rehearse like you do in open play, the profs are able to defend really well. But I think what Kean has and what they drill down in practice has got to be these set plays too, because you got to think Rowan's the more talented team just because they're ranked. And, to really get into this one, you got to make opportunity. You got to fashion chances for yourself, and these penalty corners they're doing a really good job at. Comes the insert. The shot. Save. Still a scramble for it. Giuliano comes out, kicks it away. Not far enough. Still being held on. A shot. And it's going the way of the props. Handball right there.
Nice job by the defense there. I mean, Giuliano came out.
Yep.
You got to be able to respond off that. Luckily, Kean's shot attempt at an empty, or not a fully empty net, but an opener net.
Open net.
Oh, yeah, open net was kind of whiffed. Not really whiffed, but just mishit.
Mm-hmm.
So, nice job by the defense to kind of scramble together and save that possession.
And now the profs have another opportunity to drive down here and hopefully make something happen. Saw Paige Gray checked in along with Abigail Goldberg. Nicely done by Aurelia McManus, slapping that one away. And it's a foul going in favor of the profs. And orders still being barked at the profs right now. Number 29, Taylor Prendergast on the sideline is getting an earful for one of the assistant coaches. And not in a bad way. Just like in a way, it's like, look, get this right.
Yeah, I mean, that's the standard that the coaching staff here holds the girls to, because when it comes around time to play number 6 Christopher Newport next week and number 3 Salisbury,
it's not going to be as comfortable as this game, I'll tell you that much.
No, certainly not. And then especially in the NJACs, those are you can't mess around in those games.
No, you cannot mess around at all. Penalty corner, props.
Yeah, they got caught up in Wenzel's stick.
Yeah, that was very, very good job by Wenzel, holding off the pressure from the defender right there. And again, that's just intensity. Because Kylie Wenzel, or Kaylee Wenzel, excuse me. 5 foot nothing. And she's hanging on to that ball like her life depends on it, too. Rowan fans cheering on their field hockey team right now. Just waiting on the insert.
From Merrick.
Gracie Merrick.
Got Herman up in the middle. That's where she plays it.
Gives to Herman. Misplays it off the stick, but McManus has still got it. Trying to make something happen here on the far side. And it's another penalty corner. So the mistake will not prove, well, it won't prove anything as the Props get the ball back here for their, let me check real quick. Their 11th penalty corner of the game. So the Props have done a really good job at keeping the pressure on, regardless of what the situation here is. Here's Merrick with the insert again. Goldbrish for the hat trick. Saved by Maresca. Scrambled away. And it's going to be a penalty shot.
Wow. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think the Profs have had a penalty shot regulation all year.
And they have 2 tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
is it going to be
I haven't been to every field hockey
they,
game.
I think they amended it to a corner.
Oh, it is a corner. Okay, because it looked like she pointed to the yellow spot in between the 10 and the 15-yard line.
I think it was
or
amended.
the 5 and the 10-yard line.
I
Okay.
think it was amended. I think it was originally supposed to be a penalty stroke.
It didn't seem like there was something worth a penalty shot right there. Like no one got slapped in the face or anything. Merrick again with the insert. The third insert on the spell. Kowalczyk fires. Turned away by Maresca. Now Elwell fires again. That's turned away by Maresca, and it's going to go the way of the Kean Cougars.
Those are 2 really good stops by Maresca.
That's the best she's looked all game.
Yeah, I mean those were 2 hot hand shots from Kowalczyk and Elwell.
Yeah, those were scorchers.
I don't know.
Well, at least the shot from Kowalczyk.
Scorchies.
Scorchies.
Like the miniature version.
Miniature version.
Yeah.
Scorcher Junior. It's like you ever seen Tropic Thunder?
Nope.
Oh, gosh. So in Tropic Thunder, Ben Stiller plays a fake action movie star, and he stars in an action series called Scorcher. So and they like made 6 of those. So maybe like Frack, her Scorcher was like Scorcher 5, Scorcher 6, and on the the figurative scale we're playing on right here. And those last shots, Scorcher 1, Scorcher 2.
You got a unique ability to talk about things that have nothing to do with the field hockey game. You know that?
Just trying to make conversation here, Albay. We don't want to sit here and say nothing.
No, that's true. They call that dead air in our industry.
Kowalczyk. He's got it around the 30-yard line, fakes a pass, trying to carry it through. It's going to go the way of the Profs.
Kind of stumbled there.
A little bit of a stumble right there. Kowalczyk's got 4 shots, 3 on goal in this game. She's played all but, I'm going to say, 6 minutes in this one.
She was one of the 2 that made their penalty shot, or shootout shots against TCNJ. Her and Mia Foti, who are 1 and 2 in the points tally.
Yeah, well, I mean, for good reason.
Yeah, well, Goblish only needs 7 more this game to tie up Foti.
Nicely done, math magician Luke Brown. Should add that to your resume.
I don't know about that.
I told Doc he should add that to his resume when we were doing softball in the spring. He's a comedy genius, math magician, Aiden Doherty. You're almost a comedy genius right there. You're making me laugh right now. I feel like Tom McCarthy, like I'm gonna laugh the way he does, like he wheezes.
Yeah.
Gosh, we actually had Tom McCarthy
That's
here on the
true.
campus of Rowan University. I introduced myself to him as Tom McCarthy. I said,
You did.
"Hey, Leo, it's Tom McCarthy." And yeah, that was the end of our interaction.
Well, you asked him a question. You FaceTimed your mom.
FaceTime my mom, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Kelly Cochran's watching, but she was sure was a proud mama on the day that I met Tom McCarthy. So, or actually, correct me, we met Tom McCarthy.
I was not there.
You were not there? Well, no, me and my mom met Tom
I see.
McCarthy. She wasn't in person, but, thanks to COVID, she was able to meet him virtually.
I think they had FaceTime.
But not sure if Paige Gray plays any other sports than field hockey, although I wouldn't be entirely surprised to find out that was the truth.
At Rowan University, it's just field hockey for Paige Gray.
Rowan University is just field hockey for Paige Gray. Okay.
At least that's all I can speak to.
Okay. You a field hockey aficionado?
Two balls right there.
Field hockey aficionado?
No, I just know the players.
Oh. Yes, I don't.
Got a minute left here.
Here come the Cougars, trying to make this game a little bit more competitive, but the Profs say, Tess Herman does a really good job of blocking that one. He's carrying it down into the corner, and it's going to be a foul. Profs retain possession here. And, it really was even though Herman didn't end up on the score sheet, it was a really good captain's performance, I would have to say.
Yeah, that's how she plays. I mean, that's kind of the trick of the trade with her, is that she's all year, and I mean, frankly speaking, at least the 2 years that I've been here, her presence is felt whether she scores or not. She's only got 3 goals, 5 assists on the season, but NJAC Defensive Player of the Year last year.
Mm-hmm.
She's
from midfield, by the way.
Right.
Not as a defender or a goalie, from midfield.
Right, yeah. Just her presence is felt whether she lights up the stat sheet or not. So, tell you what, Abby Goblish lit up the stat sheet tonight, and that's good to see for a player who hasn't scored so far this year. Has certainly played a good amount of time, but not a regular starter. Comes in tonight, Pitt gets a penalty stroke, and then gets a beautiful goal she had with 48.2 in the third quarter. Really like how Alexa Ronning played. I mean, Ronning, she came alive in I believe, it was in that third quarter as well at the 8:27 mark. And then don't forget Mia Foti, who scored twice, early in the second and then early again in the third. So nice job overall by the team. They needed to come out here and take care of business tonight. Looked a little slow to start this one off, then they really picked things up and won this one 5-2.
Yeah, and that's the thing that the Profs do is, you always hope they can get off to those fast starts, but it always takes them a little bit of time to get acclimated and into the game. And when they got into the game, they certainly looked like the Rowan team that we have come to expect here. But for myself, Leo West, I've been joined alongside Luke Brown. We hope you enjoyed our broadcast, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for tuning in for this presentation of Rowan Field Hockey here on Rowan Athletics YouTube. Have a great night, everybody.